that kind of stuff. She's in this documentary. She is going through CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. So you are trying to change your thoughts, your behaviors, that kind of stuff.
AIDS?
Yeah. She's scared of AIDS. This is kind of an old documentary.
AIDS takes a long time to form.
Right. So this is irrational. The thought is irrational.
You also need HIV, which is you need blood-to-blood contact for that to count.
Yeah, and so
unless she's having blood-to-blood contact, or she's doing something that she absolutely should not be doing with the corpses.
right. So in the CBT, she is made to go to an AIDS research institute and just stand there. And just stand there. And you could see the anxiety in her like this entire time. She's just like, what am I doing here? But it's part of her therapy to let her understand that she's not going to get it, even when she's around it. So it's an interesting documentary. And then there's a kid with Tourette's, which is there's some of the greatest documentary scenes I've ever seen in this documentary. I'll try to show it to you guys. So you can see these things up here, obsession. So we have contamination, pathological doubt, violent or sexual thoughts, compulsion. So then we have washing, checking, counting, symmetry, and precision. I'm never going to claim to have OCD. Now, a lot of people do that, right? I'm so OCD about that. Are you? Is it ruining your everyday life? I'm OCD about having things in their place. But that's just me being like tidy. It's not ruining my day. I do have like this, for some reason, weird need for symmetry and precision. I don't know what that is. And if I do let it take over, I could possibly have a little bit of a problem with it. But like one of my best friends has a problem with checking. So checking repeatedly to make sure that a simple task has been accomplished. When he shuts a door, he'll shut it, he'll walk away from it, come back to it, check it, walk away again, come back, check the door, make sure it's shut. And he might do it again. But he's done this his entire life. Okay? So explaining OCD, been related to dysfunction in specific brain areas, fight or flight systems, and the frontal lobe. Remember in memory, whenever I told you that there was a woman out there, her name was, she went by JS, so it's like, she was a hyperthymesiac. She had like a running memory of the past, and then she was in the present at all times. She remembered everything. She remembered that her mom called her fat 512 times.
She was so long.
Yeah, she's considered to be like that. But they were looking for like differences in her brain, and they found that she was OCD about memories. She wouldn't let them go. All right, so OCD can kind of be a little bit more versatile than we knew it could be. All right, anxiety disorders all in one place, good thing to study. And then we have mood disorders, major depression, seasonal affective disorder. So mood disorders, category of mental disorders in which significant and persistent disruptions in mood or emotions cause impaired cognitive, behavioral, and physical functioning, also called affective disorder. So we got major depression. So a mood disorder characterized by extreme and persistent feelings of despondency, worthlessness, hopelessness, causing impaired emotional, cognitive, behavioral, and physical functioning. And then we have seasonal affective disorder, known as SAD. Pretty easy to remember there. A mood disorder in which episodes of depression typically occur during the fall and winter and subside during the spring and summer, even though it can be reversed. So there is the 37th parallel. Prevalence of SAD increases in the northern latitudes, and why would we think that? Yeah, just weather, less direct sunlight. So symptoms of seasonal affective disorder, so winter sad, overeating, unexplained weight gain, sleep, depression, and then summer sad, loss of appetite, unexplained weight loss, insomnia, irritability. Then we have dysthymic disorder. So a mood disorder involving chronic low-grade feelings of depression that produce subjective discomfort, but do not seriously impair the ability to function. Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh is a great example of that. Some graphic organizers for you. Mood disorders continued. So prevalence and course of major depression. So often called the common cold of psychological disorders. This is what psychologists see the most. Okay? They see depression more than anything else. So at any given time of the year, 7% of Americans have MDD, major depression disorder. 15% of Americans will be affected by MDD at some point in their lives. Women are twice as likely to be diagnosed. Not necessarily because they experience it more, but maybe because men have this weird taboo against what?
Being emotional at all.
Well, okay, yes, but seeking help.
Right.
They just don't, They're like, I don't know why, they just eat it.
I think it's a social thing.
It is. I mean, it's
It's a societal thing.
right, for sure.
It's not like man up.
Oh,
Just be a man.
yeah.
Just grow up.
Walk it off.
And that's sort of a mindset that many people are given.
Yep, that's true.
And
Yep, you just eat it until it explodes. That's what we do. I don't know why. I try not to do that, but
it's changing now.
yeah, I catch myself doing it still. I was definitely taught to do it.
And it's a societal thing.
Yeah. So women experience more chronic stress in daily life combined with a lesser sense of personal control than men. Oof. Where'd they get this? The DSM-3? Women are more likely to dwell on their problems. And again, like I said, society has pushed men to just not seek help. Don't go to the doctor. Oh, you have a headache? Deal with it without medicine. No, I don't know if that's true anymore, but that used to be true. So people who struggle with major depression disorder rarely seek out professional help. Left untreated, MDD can last up to 6 months or longer. Now we get to bipolar disorder. So this is considered a mood disorder involving periods of incapacitating depression alternating with periods of extreme euphoria and excitement, formerly called manic depression. So let's talk about these two different poles that bipolar people who suffer from bipolar disorder experience. So at the North Pole, right, we're up, right, manic episode. I always think about being on top of a building, standing at the edge, right, and if I'm in a manic episode, I'm going to jump off the top of the building, not because I want to die, but because I believe I can fly. That like I'm in this like this crazy mental state where I'm on some sort of high level crazy dopamine hit of the craziest, euphoric drug that you could take.
I've heard that antidepressants give you manic levels if you take too high of a prescription.
I think so, yeah. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit in chapter 15. So manic episode, a sudden, rapidly escalating emotional state characterized by extreme euphoria, which is just being so high. Excitement, physical energy, self-confidence, rapid thoughts and speech. Far less prevalent than major depression disorder. 1% chance for both men and women. Lithium, which if you played trivia with me, you know that this is, what, number 3? on the periodic table. And lithium actually balances out what needs to happen in the brain. And lithium is a salt, right?
Well, it can make a salt, but it's metal.
It is.
Yeah.
For some reason, why not? There's like lithium
Well,
fields.
lithium with like chlorine or iodine or something like that
Okay.
makes a salt.
All right. Not a very. I'm not a chemistry guy. But this is used to treat bipolar disorder via the neurotransmitter glutamate. So it kind of like, for some reason, it balances this thing out. Now, the kicker is too much lithium will kill you. So this can be a short-term answer, but it can't be a long-term answer to being bipolar. Then we have cyclothymic disorder, so mood disorder characterized by moderate but frequent mood swings that are not severe enough to qualify as bipolar disorder. And just talking about the south pole of bipolar disorder, we're talking about major depression there, the lowest of the low. So explaining mood disorders, genetic predispositions, and chemical imbalance in the brain with serotonin and norepinephrine. Stress is a major factor. Now, you can see the bipolar disorder mood cycling. So you have cyclothymic, bipolar type 2, and then bipolar type 1. Bipolar type 1 is from the two extremes. Bipolar type 2, almost to extreme mania, but not quite. And then cyclothymic disorder, from mild euphoria to mild depression. There's the mood disorders in one place for you, great thing to study. And we are done for today.